What's up, guys?
Hey,
Welcome to another episode of What's the Word Wednesday.
Little go-go style for y'all.
That's how we feel.
But cash is the best.
What y'all know about that? Visa.
American Express. But cash is the best.
Hey, who we got on the jump? Money. What's up? I see we got a bunch of people have jumped on with us.
Mia.
Hey,
Welcome.
What's up, dog? Miss Bumpers. Hey. Who else we got?
Aisha. Welcome.
Welcome. Hello. Look, y'all come on in. Let me type in money. We're going to be talking about how we make sure we secure that bag and get some money.
Absolutely.
So type in money. Hey, let me type in money.
Danielle, Belinda. Welcome. Hey, text all your partners and have them chime in tonight.
Hey.
We're going to talk about some really important stuff. Doris, welcome. Doris Tucker, welcome.
Hey, welcome, guys, to another episode of What's the Word Wednesday. I am Eric E. Clifton, and this is
Roger the Dodger Lillard.
Look, together at the end of the day, what we try our best to do is motivate, inspire, encourage you, give you some practical everyday nuggets that you can use with and apply to your business on an everyday basis, right?
Absolutely.
What we're going to be talking about this evening, as briefly as we possibly can, we're going to be talking about the 7 steps of a sale. I know we are in network marketing. I know a lot of people, and you'll hear it from leaders as well, say, hey, you know what, we're not selling. What we're really doing is sharing some information. And yes, to a degree, we are sharing some information, but that sharing process is really a part of the sales process, right? And there are some systems in place that allow us to take advantage of the leverage by other people and actually share some information, right? And then, connect them to an expert, right? Get them on the phone with someone, kind of take yourself out of that process and with that 3-way call. What we're finding out is, at the end of the day, the average person is not doing 3-way calls, right? The average person, when we speak to you guys about doing 3-way calls, you'll say, well, I'm trying. I've been talking to so-and-so, and I've been talking to such and such, and I've been talking to this person. So we're doing a lot of talking, but it's not resulting into that person going through the sales process for the 3-way call stuff. So you need to know how to overcome some objections. You need to know how to posture yourself when talking with people so that you can move them to the next step. So what we're going to be talking about, like I said, is understanding the 7 steps of a sale. What is a sale? Sale is the exchange of commodity for money. You guys know that, right? The action of selling something. The sale is also a transfer of energy that comes from 2 sources, logic and emotion. At the end of the day, that's what we're ultimately trying to get that person to hone in on. Either something logical that makes sense and they make a move, or we cater to their emotions to get them to make a move.
Or both.
Yeah, or both, right? Logic makes people think, and emotions make people act.
Say that again.
Logic makes people think, and emotions make people act. Action is what we want. Selling is a people business, and people do business with people they like. So we're also going to be showing you how to get people to like you, right? So step 1 is preparation. Can you guys see the little side note that says, preparation today leads to success tomorrow? I'm going to read that one again twice too. Preparation today leads to success tomorrow. So how should you, the individual, rep? Well, this doesn't matter if you're a rep or you're an ITA or you're a combination of both. You need to take through this first step, which is preparation. Preparation involves the research, the planning, the development for deciding how you're going to approach your potential clients and prospects. Who you're going to talk to, where you're going to go, right? You need to know your company's product and service in such a way that you can focus on the features, benefits, and advantages that your company has to offer to your prospect. That simply means you can't be winging it. That simply means for us in travel, you need to be in your back office. You need to know a little bit, right? You ain't got to be an expert, but you need to know what it is you're talking about before you start having conversations, even with your friends and family. You don't know nothing, but you want to have conversations and dive in.
And for the record, I want to say, you all, if you're able to screenshot this stuff, I recommend screenshotting it so that you can have it and you can read it over again, so that you can have it for yourself, for your records. And as your network starts to go, then you can actually share this with them, and so they can apply it as well.
Man, great tips, great tips. Prepare and practice your presentation, right? So for those of you all who understand, people who don't have to wait for myself, Mr. Lillard, Mr. Scott, people who don't have to wait for us to do their presentations, take control of their money, right? Which means I can sit down with someone on a one-on-one because I'm prepared. I've practiced my presentation. Well, what if I'm an ITA only? Well, you need to review your brochures and handouts so your mind stays sharp, right? Study to show yourself approved. You need to be fully equipped with all the things that you're going to need to show a potential customer that may be interested in booking a trip with you.
I like the last part where it says study to show yourself approved. That's also in another good book. I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about. But study to show yourself approved. So if you're not studying your business, right, then guess what? It's going to be hard to really apply the stuff that you learn if you're not studying your business. Cut the TVs off, right? Cut the PlayStation off, whatever you're doing out there. Cut those things, cut it out, and study a little bit for your business so that you can learn.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the last thing in preparation, you need to prepare your probing questions, your opening statement, your elevator speech, or your introduction. You only get one chance at a first impression. This right here is key, especially for those of you who find yourself talking to people on your own. And as a matter of fact, everybody needs to have their elevator speech, right? So you need to work on your opening statement. You know, who you are, right? What's the company? What is it that you do? It needs to be short. Your probing questions are going to be important, and we're going to talk about that, I think, step number 3 or 4. But you need to already know what those probing questions are that you typically ask over and over again at the end of the day, right? Elevator speech, I think I just talked about that. Real brief introduction. Mine is something like, I tell people I'm a lifestyle architect. You know what I'm saying? And I start off with saying, well, I'm a lifestyle architect, or usually my advertisements, my advertising methods might say something about I'm a lifestyle architect. So people usually say, what the heck is a lifestyle architect? And I'm like, man, I'm sure glad you asked, right? I help people design their ideal lives, right? Mm-hmm. Through the power of the internet, right? With e-commerce in the world's largest industry inside of travel. Right, so I'm paraphrasing it a little bit, but it's real short, sweet, and to the point. You need your own daggone elevator pitch, right? Now, let's get back to the next one. Introduction. Introduction is key. We was just talking about that with the elevator pitch. Look at what it says in the corner. What do I want someone to remember about me? How can I create the right first impression? How do I want to be perceived? So your introduction, when you're starting this conversation with whoever it is, right? Whether it's friend, family member, or whoever, this is crucial. What it says right here. Your introduction is vital for setting the tone for the rest of your presentation or meeting. Always smile and be confident. If you've prepared well, you should feel very confident in your ability to handle anything. Introduce yourself, your role, your organization. Make sure to focus on information that will be relevant to the prospect's interests, needs, and goals.
And that's important because what happens is some of us are talking to people and we're talking about building an organization, and all they want to do is be able to book travel, or get paid to book travel from others. All they want to do is they just want to be ITA, and that's okay. And so, but now if they are a person that they want to go out and build a huge network, then and they don't want to book travel, then you talk about being a rep. So either way, you want to talk about where their interest is, and not where the interest is not.
Absolutely, absolutely. State the purpose of the meeting. Right? Or whether it's a one-on-one or you're in front of the room, again, focusing on what's important to the customer, right? Saying something like, I'm here today to learn more about your challenges, concerns, and how to help you achieve your goal. As a matter of fact, I say stuff like this when I'm doing a three-way call, right? Again, I need the person to be prepared for what this process is about to go, what they're about to go through, right? It also gets them prepared for the questions that we're going to be asking them on a one-on-one or on a three-way call. All this is in the introduction. If you're doing one-on-ones, be sure to ask for permission to take notes. So sometimes in doing one-on-ones, when asking those questions, what I'll do, I'll typically start writing down the answers to the questions, right? So that I can throw right back in their face what they said, depending on what it was that they said, right?
Absolutely.
So now this brings us to questions. Establish some type of rapport with your prospect before jumping into all your questions. This is when you ask those basic questions. The simple borderline surface questions, your name, your background, maybe what you do for a living, soft questions. And you probably would have done this even before having the appointment to do a presentation. But these are the things you want to make sure you have already done. The main purpose in questioning is to identify the needs of your prospect or client in the relationship to the product or service that you're offering. What benefits are most important and what features are most needed? This is key right here.
Absolutely.
Right? Most of us, when talking about our opportunity, we spend most of the time talking. We running our mouths so much that we never find out what those hidden issues of life are with the person that we say our product or service can solve those problems, but we ain't even got the list of problems. It's like what we offering is a one fix for everything. That's not the case, right? What benefits are most important and which features are most needed?
There's a good book that I highly recommend. It's one of our core books, and the name of this book is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And it teaches you in this book how to be a better listener. When someone is talking, right, you want eye-to-eye contact, and you want to listen to what they're saying and not think about what you're going to say. In order to figure out the benefit, where the benefit is, if you're thinking about what you're going to say, right, you're going to miss out on what they're saying and lose the deal. So you definitely want to get that book. If you don't have, it's one of our five core books.
One of them 5 core books, and you certainly should have that. Let's jump back in where we was. Listen. Did I say listen already? We're expressing how serious it is to listen, right? Express empathy for what the prospect's challenges may be, and use rephrasing to ensure that you understand them. Pay attention to body language to determine how the prospect feels about what you are saying. So you asking questions, if they give you that crazy look, you didn't ask the daggone question, might be too personal, right? But the key is, like you was just saying, once you ask the question and they start talking, you got to listen. The key is in the listening. You gotta listen. Ask plenty of open-ended questions. The open-ended questions are the ones that when you ask a question, the answer isn't yes or no, right? You asking questions are going to allow them to go in deep, allow them to tell you everything. The words that they say can and will be used, not against them, but to help them, right? Never interrupt them while they're while they have the floor. for some of these people that you're going to be talking to, this is going to be the first time in who knows how long they've had the opportunity to get some stuff off their chest about the questions, the real life questions that you're going to be asking them. So you're going to have to give them the respect and listening, right? This questioning that we're doing should ultimately lead us to the next step that we're looking for in our sales process. Your prospect should be doing 80% of the talking.
I want to touch on that.
We're going to say it one more time. Your prospect should be doing 80% of the talking. If whoever's doing most of the asking most of the questions is controlling the conversation. So this is why we, the expert, need to be asking most of the questions to control the conversations, giving the prospect the ability to go ahead and give us the keys to their emotions.
One of my favorite motivational speakers, Michael Klaus. Look him up if you never heard of him. But Michael Klaus. Michael Klaus is his name. He talks about, if you're doing most of the talking, that person can't give you enough information of themselves for you even continue the conversation if you're doing all the talking. So I'm going to share some with you. The more when your prospect is sharing with you, the more comfortable they're becoming with you. So if you're listening and they're doing the talking and you're asking those open-ended questions like he mentioned earlier, then that the person, the more they give, the more they become comfortable with you, and when they'll want to partner with you. So be great listeners, not good listeners, but be a great listener.
Be a great listener. As a matter of fact, listen, if y'all listening to us now, give us some thumbs up, some hearts, some likes, some happy faces, sad faces, mad emoji faces, doesn't matter. But give us something. Let us know that you are still with us. Somebody say something. Hey, we're going to take a praise break and get that music going again. If y'all don't do something, we want to make sure that we're hitting home with you guys.
And I want to say something real quick. When we're out talking to people, just don't be so focused on getting them as a customer or getting them as a business partner, but focus more so building that relationship with them. See, the more questions you're asked about their lifestyle, how many kids do they have, where are they from? I mean, you're asking questions, you're just communicating with them. And you can do this naturally, but if you're so focused on, gotta get this money, I need to hit this directorship, or I need to hit this goal builder. If you're focused on that, the person's gonna feel that you're thirsty. And Absolutely. We don't want to look thirsty out here, folks. So we definitely want to make sure that we're good listeners, ask open-ended questions. Right?
At the end of the day, we believe with our whole heart that Planet Marketing and Teletravel has the answers to many, many people's problems,
Absolutely.
Especially financially. There are a lot of other areas that it can help as well, but it has the answer to so many problems. And watch this. Here's what we do with our friends and family members. Instead of piquing their interest with the benefits that our opportunity can offer them, we spend most of our time pitching our business to them with the features that our business has. And ultimately, we never find out what's going on. So we're talking about how they can take all these trips, but they got money issues, right? Or you talking about all this money and they good. Right? So instead of you asking those probing questions like you were saying to build a relationship the same way that you did with your significant other, right? Before you trusted them with the keys, right? There were certain questions that needed to be answered. And there was a certain level of comfort that both parties needed to have, right? We need to have a certain level of understanding based on the questions that I asked. Because if I ask you a certain question, you give me the crazy enough answer, then I know, you know what? What I have to offer is probably not for you. But see, most of us aren't asking those questions. Because at the end of the day, everybody isn't for this opportunity. And if you ask the right questions, somebody gonna let you know. And then you be like, hey, you know what? You probably need to go join a vacation club. You don't want to do what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And if that's the case, why coerce that person to being with us when they don't need to be?
And another thing, don't be disappointed when you've talked to somebody and you done blast all this information to them, and then like 4 or 5 months later, 6 months later, you see them partner with somebody else because you done threw up on them. And we don't want to sound we don't want to sound like a robot. We don't want to sound thirsty. We don't sound. You want to be hungry in your business, but what we're sharing with you today is how to control your appetite.
Absolutely. And how to get things done, daggone it, when you don't have a leader at your disposal.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, that's why we said that sales is that transference of the emotions, right? So you ain't even really gotta be super guru salesperson, but is there any emotions connected with you in this opportunity? You got to figure that out for yourself. We're gonna go ahead and move into presentation. This is
a big one.
This is for whether you are doing the one-on-one, two-on-two. It doesn't matter. You're talking to some people, right? Your presentation should be strategically focused on the needs that you identified in the question process. At the end of the day, this makes the presentation really easy. I did a one-on-one with a guy. The one-on-one, watch this. The one-on-one was 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute one-on-one. Done. Why was it 5 minutes? I spent 20 minutes asking him all kinds of questions. Mm-hmm. I mean, we going in. I want to know your goals. I want to know. I don't want just to know your monetary goal. I want to know what you're going to do with the money once you get it. Right? What's your life going to look like if Planet Marketing was paying you the same amount of money on the side that your job was paying you? What would life be like? Right? What would you be able to do? What kind of options would you have? So I spent 20 minutes asking him questions. Mm-hmm. Then once I got the answer to all my questions, I took my notes. I already knew that he ain't want to see nothing about the travel side of this business. Guess what? Presentation cut in half off the break. Found out that he had some experience in network marketing, right? He wanted to know, he knew about matrices, right? Skipped a few more slides. We went straight in because I asked questions, and once he got the information that he needed, ready to roll.
And for those of you, we're not saying that you have to do a presentation to be successful. However, historically, the people in the front of the room make the most money, historically.
And you ain't got to be in front of the room. You can be like I'm in front of you.
Right.
Right? You got, some of y'all got some neighbors around the corner. You sending them videos. They two blocks away from you. You sending them videos. Talk to them. Ask some questions. Sit down with them. And with some emotion, because you know how this opportunity is affecting you, sit down with them and go over a daggone presentation. Y'all crazy. The next one, demonstrate how your product or service can fulfill those needs, taking into account their constraints, concerns, priorities, and goals. Beautiful. Facts tell, but stories sell.
My favorite.
So my point is, in your presentation, you should be telling plenty of stories so your prospects can mentally visualize themselves with your product and or service, right? All the facts are already on the slides. They can read. You ain't really got to beat it over their head. If you know some extra facts, that's good. But the stories make stuff relevant. Always focus on benefits of your product or service, not just the features. We talked about that as well. Features can lead to a technical or logical train of thought that may not move them. When you focus on benefits, what's in it for me, you show the prospect or customer how your products and service will help them be successful in reaching their goals. That's ultimately what they want. And you spend a whole lot of time talking about everything else except for how they can get what they're looking for. Always try to answer as many of the most commonly asked questions as quickly as possible during your presentation to eliminate objections. And this right here, we love doing this, answering as many daggone questions as we can, because who the heck wants to go through all the objections?
Right.
And then answering questions, you know what? I should have said that during the daggone presentation. Wouldn't be stuck right here where we are, right?
Right.
Let's get that money, y'all. That's what it's about. We're trying to put y'all in position to get that money on your own, whether we're around or not. At the end of the day, ain't nobody else teaching y'all sales training. They scared to teach sales training. We're going to teach this sales training. If only 3 of y'all get it, it don't matter, but we're going to teach it to y'all. Again, that's it from us, guys. We'll see y'all next Wednesday, as a matter of fact.
Yes,